How's it going, guys? I hope you're all well. So today I want to talk about the Yemeni civil war. If you guys are new to the channel, this is a wiki with me, a channel where I kind of read about interesting things on Wikipedia, trying to figure stuff out. Okay, this is a new symbol that I don't know about. It has a checkbox. Let me know what that means. Anyways, so the Yemeni civil war was brought to my attention because I kept hearing about the Houthis, and I was curious who they were. So the Yemeni civil war seems to be an ongoing conflict, or multilateral conflict. It's a civil war that began in 2014, mainly between this fellow, who is the Presidential Leadership Council. This guy, and he leads the Presidential Leadership Council, and this fellow who leads the Supreme Political Council. So two things that sound similar and look similar. Freud has this term narcissism of small differences. I wonder if it's a case of that, or if there's really something really deep and just visceral that really disconnects these two peoples who live on the same in the same kind of geographical region. So along with their supporters and allies, both claim to have the official government of Yemen. So this reminds me of not the Wars of the Diadochi. Well, yeah, the Wars of the Diadochi, and after Alexander fell, there was a power vacuum, and his successors would fight these wars of the Diadochi, where whoever had the largest army would sort of win. Also, during the crisis of the 3rd century in Rome, a similar sort of thing happened. Again, where different Roman generals who had large armies would fight and vie for control over the Roman Empire. This is a classic sort of theme, variation on a theme in like world history, human history, where generals with armies claim leadership. But let's dig into this and see what's so particular about this one and what the little kind of dividing and defining lines of this conflict are. So the civil war begins in 2014 when Houthi forces took over the capital of Sana'a. So that's when it starts, 2014. It's about 9 years ago. So Houthi forces. Houthis, all of a sudden this just showed up here, and it wasn't in the first paragraph at all. So let's just do a highlight. Excuse me. So this, the Houthis, officially known as Ansar Allah, is a Zayed Shia Islamist political and military organization that emerged from Yemen in the 1990s. Okay, so this is something that wasn't in this first paragraph. So the first paragraph had these two different councils, the presidential leadership and the supreme political, and they're fighting, both claiming to have this. And it starts, though, in 2014, when Houthi forces took over the capital of Sana'a, which followed by Houthi takeover of the government. Interesting. On 21st of March 2015, the Houthi-led Supreme Revolutionary Committee, okay, this is a new name, declared a general mobilization to overthrow the then president, this fellow, and expanded their control by driving into the southern provinces. The Houthi offensive, allied with military forces loyal to Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh, began fighting the next day in this government. And by 25th of March, this place, Laj, or Lahej, fell to the Houthis, and they reached the outskirts of Aden, the seat of power for the Hadi government. Okay, Hadi fled the country by the same day. Concurrently, a coalition led by Saudi Arabia, launched a military operation by using airstrikes and restored the Yemeni government. I'm very confused, okay? Because I haven't heard any mention of these two, which were like the first sentence. The second paragraph deals with the Houthis all of a sudden. I'm a little bit confused. So let's keep reading. So although there has been no direct intervention by the Iranian government in Yemen, the civil war is widely regarded as an Iran-Saudi proxy conflict. Interesting. So Houthi insurgents controlled the capital of Sana'a and all former northern Yemen, except for the eastern Marib government. Let's see. So, after the formation of the Southern Transitional Council and the subsequent capture of Aden by the STC forces in 2018, the pro-Republican forces became fractured with regular clashes between pro-Hadi forces, backed by Saudi, and Southern separatists backed by UAE, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, and the Islamic State have also carried out attacks on both factions, with the AQAP controlling swaths of territory in the hinterlands and along the stretches of the coast. The UN brokered a 2-month nationwide truce on 2 of the 2nd of April 2022 between Yemen and the warring parties, which allowed fuel imports into Houthi-led areas and some flights to operate from Sana'a International Airport to Jordan and Egypt. Interesting. On the 7th of April 2022, the Hadi government was dissolved and the PLC. Okay, PLC. First time I'm seeing that. So the PLC took command of the Yemen Republic, incorporating the Southern Transitional Council into its new government. The UN announced on the 2nd of June 2022 that the nationwide truce had been further extended by 2 months. According to the UN, over 150,000 people have been killed in Yemen, which is a lot. It's a lot of people. It's not quite 1 million, but it's a lot of dead people, as well as an estimated of 227,000 as a result of an ongoing famine and lack of healthcare facilities. The Wall Street Journal reported in March 2023 that Iran agreed to halt all military support for the Houthis and abide by the UN arms embargo as a part of the Chinese-brokered Iran-Saudi rapprochement deal. The agreement is viewed as a part of the Saudi Arabian-led efforts to pressure the Houthi militants to end the conflict through negotiated settlement, with Saudi and U.S. officials describing the concomitant let's see what that means. Concomitant, which is a naturally accompanying or associate. So describing the concomitant Iranian behavior as a litmus test for the endurance of the Chinese-brokered détente. Since then, however, Iran has maintained military and logistical support to the Houthis. On 23rd of December 2023, Hans Grundberg, the UN Special Envoy to Yemen, announced that the warring parties committed to steps towards a ceasefire. I am totally confused because the Houthis just jumped out of nowhere, and I don't understand. Supreme. So, I mean, I'm a bit confused. I'll check out the info box in a moment. Let's read this last paragraph. The Saudi-led coalition bombing of civilian areas has received condemnation from the international community. According to the Yemen Data Project, the bombing campaign has killed and injured a lot of civilians, about 20,000. Houthi drone attacks targeting civilian areas in Saudi Arabia, UAE, southern Yemen have also attracted global condemnation, and the UN Security Council has imposed a global arms embargo on the Houthis since 2015. Interesting. So the UN is imposing an embargo on these guys. The United States has provided intelligence and logistical support to the Saudis to fight them. And despite the Biden administration's pledge to withdraw U.S. support from Saudi Arabia and Yemen, it had announced the sales of weapons to the Saudi Arabian-led coalition. Let's take a look at this map, which is showing us. So insurgency in Yemen detailed map. According to the published reports, the map's information is based on that stuff. Let's see. So pink is the Republic of Yemen. What is recognized by the UN? It's like the country. Yellow, or yella, is the Republic of Yemen. Okay, so pro PLC. Okay, so this is pro PLC. And also yellow and orange and blue, all that is pro PLC. Aha. And so green, this whole western part, and I think that's where the capital is, Sana'a, right here. That's where Sana'a is, this place. Sana'a. All that green is controlled by the Houthis. So all of this is controlled by pro PLC, and this is pro the other one. Okay. So yeah, so green is pro SPC, and that's the Yemeni Armed Forces Houthi movement. Okay. So this is the guy. So all of a sudden, so this really breaks out. So hold on. So this guy is a Yemeni politician. Okay. So it seems to be between Houthis, who are like the armed force for the SPC, fighting against the PLC. Main belligerents, Republic of Yemen, backed by... So, Yemen, backed by all of these. So, yeah, hold on. Yemeni, this is like Yemen. I think, yeah, let's see. Yemen, yeah, this is like Yemen, the country. The Yemen we know about. Yeah, man. So, Yemen, the country, has all of these armed forces, the armed forces and the Republican Guard and all these things. STC, what is that? Something that's been created with the UAE. And we also have the Saudi-led coalition as well. Gosh dang. You know what makes this hard is that there's like literally three different ones. So the Supreme Council thing was established in 2016. Okay, this is obviously, you guys are saying that I'm running into the coral reef here and not really I'm not grokking this as quickly as I thought I would. And I still don't even know why they're fighting and what the hell they're fighting about. It's not really clear. Maybe it's religious or tax issues, or I don't know what the hell it is. Racial things. Who knows? So it's not clear. Let's just read this thing. Maybe the historical context. So Islam in Yemen predominantly takes the form of Sunni and Shia. Among the Shia, small Ismaili and Zidi sects historically competed for influence. I'm running aground, folks. Maybe I'll do a part 2 for this to try to really get, kind of grok this. But I don't understand why they just kind of started killing each other on late 2014. What was going on that really, lit that powder keg? Maybe there's a Houthi takeover of government. Maybe that's a good place to go.